legacy of his. Okay.
Hello and welcome back to another episode
Episode of the
of
podcast. Cyber Power of Tigray Media podcast, right?
podcast.
Well, I was going to ask you about podcast.
Okay.
When you say podcast, usually it's a radio format instead of a video format like this. They do have some kind of conversation, like two or more people, but it's usually a radio kind of conversation. But nowadays, people are using video also. So do you still call it podcast?
Yeah.
People ask me about it. How
Yeah.
you guys doing this
Yeah.
podcast? So yeah.
Yeah, you can do it two ways. You can still call it a podcast or a video cast.
Video cast. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take these headphones off because I'm getting a delay. I just want to make sure that our audio is good, but it's a little slight delay. So I'm
Okay.
taking these off.
All right. There you go.
All right, now this is better. Much better. Cause I'm looking at you. I'm like, and welcome to the pod. My name is Devanda Smith. Alongside me is the one and only Mr.
And from Asfa with Devendra Smith here. Welcome to Cyber Power of Tigray Media. Cyber Power of Tigray Media is always yours. Please follow, share, and subscribe.
Hit that like button.
Right.
So, I hear that you was down in Portland this weekend.
Yes, that was amazing. For the last 2 years, we have been going out to do demonstrations to make awareness for the people of America and the world about what's going on in Tigray.
Yeah.
But usually it was a COVID, because of the COVID, the distance,
Yeah.
most of it, you cannot do demonstrations. It was some restrictions. Most of the mayors and state governors are having restrictions. So we didn't have a lot of people involved to be with us, to do some demonstration and to make awareness for what's going on in Tigray. Yeah. But this time, first of all, it was a Martin Luther King annual anniversary. Our king, as you know, you will tell us the legacy of our king. No justice, no peace. He's been I have a dream. He had a lot of speech, motivational speech for the people of America and the world. That he was actually lead the people of America without being a president. He's a social leader. He's a good speaker. He's a good person with a good heart, who stood for the people of America and for the poor. He was talking about the equality. He was talking about the education. He was talking about the insurance,
Food shortage. Yeah.
The human rights. Everything
Everything that's going on today.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
everything was going on today. So I had an opportunity. Actually, I drove all the way down to Portland, Oregon, because the Portland community, the Tigray community, they were organized with African Americans and white folks, Asians, the whole people, and then actually they invite the Tigray community they made all the posters about Tigray. They asked them to bring the Tigray flag, and then they invite them, to join, to the march, the whole from Peninsula Park all the way down to the convention center. Walked everybody, and we were like, marching and talking about Martin Luther King, talking about Tigray. We made a big awareness for the people of Portland, Oregon. So it was amazing. It was Monday, and I had to go Sunday and come back Tuesday. So I believe it was very successful.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: you were in a different country. How was King? Did he affect Ethiopia? Because I know, like you said, he kind of touched people around the world. So how was it in Ethiopia? How was King perceived, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, actually, the social movement after King, it was 1974, like around 1974, 1973, 19 something like that. Yeah. So even though I was so maybe baby or young at that time,
Yeah.
but we had the influence because of this social movement. They had to the people who were like the students who were like in university
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah.
They were also influenced by him, and they
Okay.
had to change the government because the government was so arrogant. So it was not capitalist, or it was not, and it was like feudalism. If you know about feudalism,
Yeah.
the lord of like
Yeah.
lands,
Yes.
and nothing like no industry was going on, and education is for few people only, and kind of like by marriage and family to family landowners, like kind of thing. So they had a chance because of the influence from not only Dr. Martin Luther King, but also the movement, everything with Tupac. There's a lot of movement that time.
Yeah. Okay.
So all this was even our students, the Ethiopian young, like Mele Zenawi, who went to be a rebel leader at that time, was like influenced by them, by him, by Mandela, by others. So it was like the whole world was like even though we didn't have a good internet communication at that time, or
Yeah.
television communication at the time, but we had radios. We listen. What's going on in America and what's going on in other places. So yeah, it was he was
So you
very
guys were
influential.
tapped in.
Yeah, we had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was more of a Malcolm X guy myself, though.
Malcolm X, yeah. Malcolm
Yeah.
X, I think, was he in prison at that time, or
No, he was out during the time. Yeah, I wish those two could have like really got together.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's probably been interesting. It's been real interesting. Yeah, I'm more of a
Malcolm X, yeah. Malcolm X, a lot of people, he's got a lot of followers too.
Yeah, I'm more of a Malcolm guy.
Yeah, Malcolm
know.
guy. I don't know. Would you tell me a little bit of like why do you choose Malcolm X? And I mean,
Because you put your hands on me, I'm gonna hit you back. Plain and simple.
Is that what
Plain
he
and
said?
simple.
That's
Plain
it.
and simple.
Yeah.
Don't touch me, I don't touch you.
Yeah.
You touch me,
I
guess
hate
what?
you.
You're
I
getting
hate
something back.
But
And
Martin
see,
Luther King is more
of
kind
a peaceful.
peaceful.
Hey,
Even if he hits you this way, give him this way.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Is that kind of thing?
yeah. Hey, man.
So I have a dream. It's gonna be peaceful. We can't do anything. That kind of stuff, right? But Malcolm X is like
yeah.
like
Malcolm X, like you touch me,
stand up, like for yourself.
you
kind
touch
of
me,
thing. Yeah,
I'm gonna touch you.
I'm gonna touch you.
Yeah, and there's different approaches, but if you look at how America was birthed, it wasn't birthed in peace. Because if you go back and look at the Boston Tea Party,
Right.
where they were getting taxed and everything, they went out up there saying, "Please, King, don't tax us. Please, King, don't tax." No, they went and raided the Tea Party and dumped everything, all the teas, into the Boston harbor, right? So if you can do that, but you want us to be peaceful,
Right.
but you come with okay, you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back approach. But you want us to be peaceful.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
no. But that's just me. That's just me.
Well, I mean, that's
You
what
know.
it is right now. I mean, nobody's now going to trespass your property. If trespassing your property, they know that they're going to be killed. So they have to stay away from you. So don't touch me. I'm not going to touch you.
Yeah.
If you touch me, I'm
Yeah.
going to kill you, right?
You know, they have a saying, if I know that you got a bat, I'm not gonna come into your house
Right.
because I don't want to take that risk of getting hit with
Right,
it, right?
right.
But if I know that you don't have a bat, guess what? I could come in your house, smack you around. I know you can't do nothing about it.
Right.
That's on the same line as a couple of weeks ago we've been talking about how the Ethiopian government want the Tigray people to give up their weapons.
Yeah.
That is ludicrous to me. I give up my weapon, and guess what? You could come in at any time because you got your weapon still.
Exactly, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you could come and make my life a living hell
Uh-huh.
because I can't defend myself.
Right.
And so, no.
That's what's going on in Tigray right now.
Yeah.
Disarmament.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
could you disarm when you have, like, someone from a different country, like, killing and raping your woman in your own land?
Yep.
And then you disarm your own military, That's,
from a military, because I come from a military background.
right.
You know why a lot of countries have not been invaded? Because they all have nuclear bombs. Pakistan,
Right.
India.
Yeah, exactly.
They're kind of like you guys,
Right.
They're right on the side. Used to be one big country, all family, brothers, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then politics, religion came in and split the country apart, right?
Yeah.
But guess what? They both got nukes. So guess what? Neither one of them going to start a serious war.
Right. Because they had to respect each other.
Exactly.
Because
you know what? If I press this button,
right,
you're gone.
You're gone, right.
And if the other one pressed the button, then
You're
we're gone.
Right.
So guess what?
They respect
I
each
got
other.
a bat, you got a bat. Guess what? We're gonna argue, but we ain't gonna fight.
Right. Right.
So
But in
the TPLF, I will not give up my weapons. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I just would not do it because now you're making yourself more vulnerable.
More vulnerable, yes.
In the grand scheme of things, I don't know how it is in the country, but one people might say, hey, it's for the betterment of Tigray if we go down this path. Let's just go down the disarmament path.
Right.
And like we was discussing before the show started, how Abay,
Yeah.
he brings in cabinet members temporarily, then he kicks them out, right?
Exactly.
That's the same thing going to happen to the TPLF.
Right.
Couple of weeks, oh yeah, you done got disarmed. Now guess what? Now we can bring the hammer down on you, and you have nothing. You can't fight back because we got your weapons. No way, no how.
I think this is for the first time that I heard for the entire world, like, to disarm someone when invaders are inside on your land.
Yeah,
I think this is just, for me, I can't even accept that.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to accept it. Even though I like to have that peaceful, like the cessation hostility kind of thing, because the people of Tigray were like, already exhausted.
Yes.
For the last 2 years. Of course, they didn't, the Tigray people did not fall back. They fall forward. What I'm trying to say is they fall forward towards the constitution. They're trying to believe even the federal government is still as Ethiopians. But still, the Eritrean troops are still in the land, are killing and raping and doing everything. So disarmament, when those people are on your land, more than 70% is like kind of.
Yeah, I can't do that, bro.
It's
if anybody should be disarmed, it's the, like you saying, the invading force. They need to be the one that's disarmed and kicked out of the country. But, I don't know.
Yeah. Even if they gave them all the the big weapons like missiles and tankers and you name it, everything. Last time they were like had some kind of arrangement, and they have already take all the big weapons. Even when TPLF is doing this, but still the infrastructure, the federal government is supposed to start everything, right?
Yeah.
Supposed to kick out like the Eritrean troops and the Amhara militia, but they are still there. They are still killing their
And you know what?
Tigray people.
You know what? Going back to the disarmament stuff. If I was the TPLF, I was like, okay, if you want me to disarm, you get the Ahari. Correct me if
Amhara. Yeah.
Amhara. Get them out.
Get them out.
And
The Eritrean troops.
Eritrean troops.
Get
Get them out.
Uh-huh.
Then I might give you a couple of guns.
Right.
You get them out of my area.
Yeah.
Get them, have them back to their borders. Then we could talk.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
That's
but as long as they're here,
Yeah.
I would not give up anything.
Right.
I would not give up my weapons.
Right.
Because then they're gonna come back in. Well, they're still doing it now. You
Yep,
know,
yep.
raping your people, raping the women,
they're doing everything.
and doing the killings right now.
They're
So
looting.
why would I do it? Why would I give up my gun? Why?
That's the thing. That's like, something that I couldn't able accept my body. My
Yeah.
brain could not take that.
Yeah. No.
How could you do that? I mean, of course, the international community is doing influence, oh, it's okay, we are here, we want to help you, just sign it. Okay, they sign it, but how come they don't want to tell them to kick those troops out,
Yeah.
the invaders out, in this 21st century, when you see people displaced, raping by invaders, what is that going to tell you?
Let me ask you this, E.
Right.
Because I like to play the devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
If there was widespread reports of Ukrainian women and girls getting raped and men shot in their homes, do you think it'd be a big outcry from the
course.
world?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too. And that's the thing that burns me up when I see things, and we touched on it a little bit last week, that you send this $1 billion weapons package to Ukraine, but you can't send $1 billion to Tigray. I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? We are asking you, whoever you are watching this, the Eritrean government, the Ethiopian government, the American government, the European Union, the Amnesty International, the World Health Organization, the Red Cross, everyone, the World Organizations, international community, what are you guys doing? Why are you neglecting Tigray?
It's to the point, man, it burns me up really when I think about it. You're doing the same thing that they did in the 90s when they sat back and let that genocide happen in Rwanda. Right?
Exactly, yeah.
They sat back. The
Clinton
world
was in
community
power.
did nothing.
Right.
They just sat back and just talked.
Yeah,
It's the only thing they
that's it.
talk.
Yeah.
Because I was there. I was part of a task force, so we was ready to go, but we was told to stand down, right? To stand down. Why? 800,000 people wiped off the face of the earth, gone.
Exactly.
Now you have over 1 million people in Ethiopian wiped off the face of the earth, gone.
Yeah.
Nothing done.
Uh-huh.
But let that been in Europe, a country in Europe, everybody been up in arms over that. How could you do that? How can this happen?
Obvious. This is just open discrimination in the world, this kind of discrimination against the poor people of Tigray.
Yeah.
Doesn't even know anything. They don't even have who those people who are doing their thing in their daily life, but they came with the weapons and drones, and 1 million people is already dead, and there are a lot of disabled.
Say that again. Say that again.
1 million people.
1 million people.
Right.
Gone.
And about 3.5 million is displaced, homeless. 3.5 people are now homeless. Maybe some of them are in part of the Sudan, some of them are in the jungle, some of them are somewhere. Some of them are like in a capital city. Like more than 500,000 people are in Mekelle right now. Mekelle is overwhelmed. They can't even, like, they don't even have that kind of capacity to have that much people. First of all, they have a shortage of water, electricity, and the food, no medical supplies, no medical doctors, no caregivers at all, because they all want to fight, and some of them are already dead. Some of them are disabled. There are a lot of amputated people you can see. There's a lot of blind now because of the war. There is a lot of people, they lost their hand and their leg and their organs.
Yeah, and you got kids that's malnourished because they don't have the proper food.
Proper food, right?
And man, it's a little upsetting.
All this is just happening in Tigray. And Tigray is the world, part of the world.
I commend you and your brothers and sisters, man, that's out there, that's doing the marching, that's doing the protesting, to try to bring awareness. Because, man, this has been going on too long for the whole world to just sit back and just do nothing. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
So kudos to you and your fellow Tigrayans. Tigrayans, that's what you said?
I mean, I wish I could have done better, but that's the only thing I could do. I can just talk like this, so I can make some awareness. If there are some demonstration, I can go and participate. And I can go to mayor's office and congressmen and churches and stuff and make awareness, tell them what's going on. But still, of course, it's the cessation of hostility. At least there is no war, but still in the darkness, people are still dying every day.
Yeah.
People have no access for their money. People have no access for medical supplies, for health sectors. People have no access for gas. There is a lot of issues. People cannot go to anywhere. They cannot go to Eritrea. They cannot go to there. It was like there is some airlines transportation started, only airlines, and those also they have some limited access, and it's very expensive. About that we spoke last time about it, about 10 grand, 10K, and no one can afford that much money. Even if they afford for the ticket, I don't think they can have enough money to live in the capital city. And because of who they are, it's hard for them to rent and to find an apartment or some places to live. So all this is going on for people who they are. So the legacy of Martin Luther King is right here. Justice needs to be served. No justice, no peace. You cannot just, we have to have accountability for this. For those who did, I'm not saying that even if there are people, part of the TPLF have done some kind of atrocities, or if they cause atrocities, I'm not saying that they cannot take accountability. They have to be served justice for both sides.
Yeah.
I'm just behind the people. I'm not behind any party. I'm not behind any of the parties.
Right.
So this needs to be, the justice needs to be served, as our King, Dr. Martin Luther King said.
Do you think the world, like the UN, would ever bring Abay to justice for all the atrocity that's going on?
Abiy Ahmed?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's trying to get away with. You see what I'm saying? He's just focusing right now. Just forget what happened. Let's focus on the peace right now. And he's not even giving peace. He's not even taking away Eritrean troops and Amhara militia. He's not even open all the education centers. He's not even open the banks. He's not even opening the electricity. Of course, electricity is almost everywhere is lighted up right now, but there are no internet access or telephone access, or bank system is not yet to be accessible for the whole entire people of I can't even send money right now for my family.
Well, one way of it's cruel, but yeah, he wouldn't want no internet access going on over there. That way, people there can send
Exactly.
images out, and stuff,
Images and
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, how if like the whole entire? How come the journalists they have to have access to go to see what's going on? Like CNN, BBC World, Al Jazeera. There is a lot of like mainstream medias out there. This is what they're supposed to do right now. They're supposed to go there and expose what's going on, make
yeah.
awareness for the people of world.
You said the key word. That's what they're supposed to do.
Right, but
Yeah.
you see, there you go. I know if something is happen here, you will see all the medias somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But when people are dying there, on there's a lot of things going on. They can't even. Of course,
People-
I appreciate one of the Sudanese, one of the Africans, CNN journalist who went last year all the way down to Tigray and recorded and make awareness of the whole entire world what's going on in Tigray. But we need to have more journalists like her, to go there and find out what's going on, so that way we can the whole entire world can know what's going on.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, E. What else you got that you would like to pass off to the audience, man?
well, those dictators. I was so. Of course, he was his best friend. One of during the transition, during the change, when Abiy came to the power, he came with him, and then he have done a lot of things with him during the first 1 year and two. His name is Takala Uma.
Say that again.
Takala Uma.
Takala
Yeah.
Uma.
Yeah, Takala Uma. He was the main, the mining industry minister. So one of the minister, not only him but also Dagmawit. There are 4 or 5 ministers were kicked out from their position. Look at that. Nothing even. It was just surprising. He just made. It wasn't like this Ethiopia, to be honest with you. Like when Meles was in power, it was to kick out one minister, they have to sit down and evaluate what's going on. They have to see the progress and the progress of his job and the performance of his position and everything. Because he cannot just he's just kind of. I know he was intimidated by him. You know why?
Why?
The Air Force General Yilma
Uh-huh.
and Takalaoma, I think from part of the ethnicity kind of thing. Abiy is from Jimma. He's still Oromo, but he's from Jimma part. And those people are from Shua and from Wolega. Some of them are, but they all speak Oromo, but still they have kind of different places.
And how many languages are? How many
I mean,
languages are
it's the
there,
same
man?
language. That's the thing, Why do you think that way, Or it's kind of somebody just how don't you just evaluate him with his education and performance instead of oh, this guy is from that place and that area, that ethnicity does not like me, so they're going to be doing something behind me, so I have to kick them out before they do something kind of. So the mining industry, and it was not only him, even Lemma McGursa, who was his mate, to have this kind of change. He got him rid of from the position immediately after 5 months. So right now in Ethiopia there are a lot of ministers are and most of them, they don't even know when to get kicked off. There is no kind of official work or something I don't think they have any confidence what to do and when they be replaced or kicked out or when they go to the prison or you know what he's doing right now? They are like setting up investigation for them to set up to go to the prison or to
Hey,
get
man.
them out from.
That sound like Putin, man.
So I mean, this kind of government is like hard. They will have like more instability, more kind of okay. They may have their own followers too.
Yeah.
So that creates more instability in country, right? That's how it starts this war. If Takala or my followers would be like mad, and then they would say, oh, okay, what's he's doing this, and then that guy has like power and military and federal policy and all that, and then he will trying to suppress the whole hostilities. So hostility from hostility, hostility from hostility, like he had that kind of, he's kind of, I think, narcissist.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Explain what narcissist mean. Like narcissist people are like very
All about
selfish.
me.
Yeah.
All about me. I love me. You love me too.
Mm-hmm.
You better tell me that you love me. If
Right.
not, off with your head.
Yeah, narcissist people are very dangerous.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
all about them.
All about them.
Yeah, they just like if they think that you are like going against them, they will try to kill you, to get you out of the thing, try to take away your possessions and trying to separate you from your friends, even from your family, from your wife or whatever. They make you look like so bad, like
Yeah.
So he's a narcissist, when you have like narcissist leadership. This world is crazy, How could you like have a prime minister or a president like Putin? How do you explain Putin what he's doing in the world right now? There's a lot of Ukrainian people are displaced,
Yeah.
just because of he thinks whatever Lenin said in the past. Part of Ukraine is Russia, and Russia needs to be like you cannot just do that, like overnight. You know how many people he lost now, even from Russia. Forget about the Ukrainian, even from his own people, from Russia. This is like the infrastructure is like destroyed.
But you know what?
Right.
They ain't gonna say nothing. They be shipped off to Siberia. All right, E, we're gonna wrap up the show. Give me something for the audience, man.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, the whole entire situation to talk about Ethiopia right now is like the meaning in we have a gold, that
Yeah.
we export the gold. The annual gold export is about $117.7 million, like but because of the whole hostilities, the whole thing, they have lost a lot. And we have a lot of industrial parks. The one in Bardar, the one in Mekelle, never done anything for the last 2 years. It's just shut down, and probably needs a lot of replacement. And the workers are not there anymore. Some of them are military. Some of them are like going somewhere, like in a brain drain. And even in Amhara region, the industrial park is right now, they have laid off more than 700 workers from that. It's just the whole economy is like like shaking.
Yeah.
It's very danger right now. So
Because I think they were trying to talk about the whole world might be going into like a recession here.
and the main thing that I wanted to talk about today is he gave a warning for the Tigray People Liberation Front leaders Abiy Ahmed last night
What did he say?
from his Ministry of Communication. He said, well, one of the TPLF official came to the media, and then he said, the fascist Amhara government is still killing our people here. And you know what Abiy Ahmed said? This kind of word is a trigger for another war because of the due to the Pretoria agreement. He cannot say anything about. Seriously, when people are like, even when I kill you, when we kill you, don't say anything. That's what I'm just saying right now. He cannot even say anything. Disarmament, no speech, no education, no money. Like they're speechless now. They're
Yeah.
just.
No.
Can you believe this?
No. No. So
I don't know. I was gonna say like TPLF is stupid. Why they signed this signature? But even though we know that the situation is so bad, they made them to sign all that. They trust the international community. They trust the African Union. But Abiy is like using this to abuse the cessation of hostility
yeah.
agreement. He's telling them not to say anything about this. Yeah, we're gonna kill you. We're gonna do everything whatever we want.
And
You
you're
have
gonna like it.
right. So
Yeah.
all this is happening. The diaspora Tigray. I know our government is like speechless right now, but we have to get together, stay together, and then we have to be the voice for the voiceless of Tigray people.
Amen to that, brother. Amen to that. All right, guys, tune in next Monday. We'll be back on our Monday show. He was out of town, for a very good cause, celebrating Martin Luther King and doing a march for the Tigray, to bring more awareness to Tigray. So, all right, guys, we'll see you next
out.
Monday.
Until
then,
you so much.
Peace out.